Hi guys, it's Dale here. It's been a while since I put a video up actually, and of course it's been a while since we've actually discussed anything on this channel. But yeah, this isn't a decklist profile by the way, it's just like some news, things that happened at Trios which we didn't bring you anything about, and Trios was months ago. Of course, by the beautiful looking Raging Form Dragons there, you can probably guess what I played. I was playing good old Shadow Paladins. It was a deck that, since it was revealed, I was pretty much set on playing until Nationals. Unfortunately, I don't think Aaron and I are planning on going Nationals this year, mainly because the cost is quite high from where it's being held. But, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Anyway, I'm just gonna chat over these beautiful Raging Forms, or I could alternatively give you a Tartu, maybe a few Tartu, because she too is very pretty. She's actually very good card. It's just a shame that mana kind of replaced her. Anyway, losing a bit of track here. We went 3-2 with one bye in Swiss Trios, which was quite good actually, considering the fact that I'm not the most confident player in this game at all. Round one, actually no, I should probably go into a bit more detail about the event first. As ever with Bushiroad and Europe, it was badly organised. I worked out the room could hold about 198, 200 players. We had 500 participants, which forced them to do 5 pods. Pods A and B played for 4 rounds, while pods C, D and E just sat around doing nothing. And then of course after our 4 rounds were finished, we swapped over, so pods A and B had to do nothing for the next 4 hours of their life. Then after that everyone was brought back in for a joint pod, for not having a better word that I would like to say about it. So of course, that was where we eventually ended up losing. Bit of a shame, but those things happen. Anyway, round one, we had to play against Team KC4, who I know one of their members, which is how I kind of know who they were. Their team consisted of Revenger, Nouvelle, and some sort of weird OTT Soulless Battle Sister build. Anyway, our team was playing Nouvelle, Beast Deities, and Shadow Paladins. Don't know why I always just say Nouvelle and Beast Deity when they actually have clans, but then again, saying Shadow Paladin, everyone knows they mean Revenger. Max and Aaron won their games. Aaron was incredibly happy about beating Nouvelle for like the first time in his life. I unfortunately lost out to a crit trigger while on 4 damage against the OTT guy. I probably would have won if I could have lasted that turn, because I had enough to Raging Form again. I don't know if he would have been able to have stopped it. But yeah, that's just the way the game goes, I guess. But we won that 2-1. Then the next round we lost. That consisted of Eradicators, Aquaforce, Tetra Dragon build, and Nouvelle. Aaron was the only one who won in this round for our team. I got grade stuck against Nouvelle, which is kind of pointless playing against, especially when you actually do guard and they just rip a crit trigger. So you're put to 3 damage before you could even find a grade 2. It's a bit depressing, but I just didn't want to play that game anymore. Aaron had to play against a stand build, which basically abused the relationship between Tidal Assault and Bubble Edge to get more draws out of it. Aaron won this, as I said. And Max lost to Erads mainly because the guy managed to rip double crit when he needed it. But the guy openly admitted that if he hadn't seen the double crit, he probably would have lost anyway. Round Round 3, we had to play against Revengers, Beast Deity, and Original Saver Zero Zeal. We won this 2-1. Aaron lost his game through a misplay, and the guy wouldn't let him take it back, so Aaron just packed up out of that. Max obviously beat Revenger, and I won against Zeal. He topped the grade 1 for turn to ride, so he can actually do something. He added the grade 3, then he rode into the 10k vanilla next turn, and then he called 2 Zeal out with Original Saver 0, which was basically telling me that he had lost this game already. I had to Raging Form to make him drop 9 cards out of hand, because I just couldn't keep playing if I couldn't get through, and it was just going to become worse and worse for me if he did eventually break ride. Then after this, we're 2-1 at the moment, we get the bye. Then we just had to sit around. Came back, and we played all mirror matches, apart from the Nova one was Blau and Beast Deity. Aaron and Max both got grade stuck, one of them at grade 2, one of them at grade 0, which obviously isn't very helpful when you're playing the mirror match in any sense. My Shadow Paladin opponent Raging Form twice in one turn. What, twice in one turn? Twice over the course of the game. I can't remember if I did, but apparently I did. What do I know? All I know is I pretty much won it through a crit trigger, which he perfect guarded my Raging Form, which wasn't very strong at the time, because I couldn't actually retire anything for it. Had to stick the crit trigger onto my Rearguard Masquerade, making it 17k double crit. He then had to use his Rearguard Tartu and his own Masquerade to intercept to keep him in the game, which meant that the only thing he could do next turn was just call out a Mordred Phantom, attack with his Raging Form, which got perfect guarded, and then attack with a non-trigger boot. He didn't trigger check into any triggers, so his Mordred was only 11k, so that was easy to stop with like one card. And then after that I pretty much won because he didn't actually have enough to even guard the first Raging Form anyway. But we lost that round 2-1 anyway, so that was us basically out of the competition due to double elimination. It was quite fun being able to go and participate in trios. It's still kind of bad, their organisation, and the fact they always want to make the game's best out of one. It really doesn't allow for any sort of player skill, but in a game like this, which is quite luck-based due to your trigger checks, I can see why they wouldn't want to make it about player skill. I mean, the game's pretty quick, but yeah. In other news, moving on from trios, Narukami may potentially be losing their support from set 16, which is the Brawlers. Now, this is because the movie pack and the trial deck are due to be released around the same sort of time, which is roughly November, December-ish. Now, because the main clans in the film are going to be Gold, Royal, Link Joker, and Kagero, Bushiroad may potentially be dropping the Brawlers to push this along a bit more. What's going to happen with the Brawler support, we don't know. But we do know that we do not have a release date yet for Trial Deck 17, which is Brawler of Friendship. However, Trial Decks for Seeker, Gold Paladins, and Link Joker all have release dates. Again, tying in with the movie being Royals Gold, etc., etc. I'm not 100% sure how this is really going to work, or what they're going to do with it, because apparently we might get some of the stuff we've seen in a few episodes recently in set 16 where it shouldn't be. But, yeah. Of course, we're also getting Fighters Collection around the same sort of time, which does actually have a Brawler Legion in it. Whether this will be omitted or not is another question. But they may or may not keep it in. If they do drop it, then it might put more towards Narukami maybe getting like an extra booster of sorts, potentially, to make up for the for the set they've missed, but we don't know what exactly will be happening about this. Also, the OCG has brought in a single clan only rule. The only 2 exceptions to this are Royal Paladins, which may use 4 Blast to Dark, and only 4 Blast to Dark, or Link Joker, which may play as many reverse units as they possibly choose. Which is kind of odd, but I think it's mainly to reduce the number of Sing Saver Abyss builds, which is Sing Saver Dragon and Phantom Blaster Abyss, both restanding Vanguards, both using Seeker and Revenger engines to basically power each other along. Of course, Makart, when you Legion, you call 2 units out off its own skill anyway, because Darkmourn's a card. And of course, by riding over Legions, you get more soul, which means you can potentially use Sing Saver's skill twice in one turn, which is basically the aim of the deck. But yeah, it means that we're still going to have Risers with Cat Butler, possibly Genesis, and possibly Pure Seeker by itself, and maybe a Shadow Paladin deck being the top decks when we actually do get Legion. I don't think Musketeers, Aquaforce are going to do that much. Liberators finally get the support they actually wanted and are doing what they should have been doing ages ago. So they may make it into a decent position. But we shall see. We shall see. And of course, with the introduction of the Limit Break enablers, some of the old decks, like old Break Right builds, may be able to keep up. But yeah, we shall see. Anyway, that's my new section out of the way for now. I'm going to upload this, and then there will be a deck profile coming your way, guys. Enjoy.